Good morning, friends. It's your favorite neighborhood nerd, Simone. Jelly is here sitting on my desk and he's got to move because I need to move this closer to my work area so that I can film. I have the day off and I would like to go on a hike, but I have decision paralysis. I don't know where I want to go, which sucks big time. So I decided that I would have Max nap for a little bit, and when he wakes up, I will go. Maybe I'll show you a little of where we're going if I have figured it out by then. But I thought I'll take the time that I have while he's sleeping and work on this. This is my 2025 take a note that I abandoned at the end of June. There's still a lot of loose ephemera inside that I want to stick down or remove and call this journal finished. Why don't you join me? So what I decided to do is I had several weeks where I still have some stuff laying around in the book ephemera when I wasn't able to finish. Like these things. Not as much as I had imagined. I just did the same thing with my 2024, second half of 2024, and there was a lot of ephemera still inside the journal. And I feel like if I'm going through this, flipping through the pages, sticking stuff down that's in there loose, I will be able to call this done, even though technically there is holes, maybe notes on sticky notes that I wanted to write down neatly, but I'm okay with just calling it done. Historically, I am not the type of person to go back and finish a journal once the time has passed. And so I'm totally okay with removing the loose papers, the sticker sheets, the washi sample cards, and calling it done. It gives me, that's at least how what I've learned is it gives me a sense of completion, and it doesn't clutter my brain with a loop that says, oh my gosh, you haven't finished your journal. And I don't really think that a journal that has holes, days where you didn't put anything down, is necessarily unfinished, because that just shows you that you were busy, tired, uninspired to get in there and create. And that is, I think, an absolutely valid reflection of how you felt that time. Going in here and putting something down that isn't. Jelly is scratching at the door. I need to open it. Give me a second. Well, he was able to actually open it by himself and got out. I think I'm going to move this to my current journal. This card certifies that Simone is an official holder of extravagant hope. Benefits include stubborn joy and the ability to see and share light, even on the darkest days. I stuck down things in here that I just had. This is a card that my nephew made for us. In the beginning of this journal, I still documented my in and outgoing happy mail. And to be honest, I don't know why I always say to be honest, because it doesn't matter. First of all, most of the time I'm honest. And second of all, does it matter? Is that even anything to be honest about? I want to do this in my new journal as well, because right now, as I'm not doing it, I feel like I'm missing something. Sometimes I think, oh, I'm not sending enough mail. Or I'm like, when was the last time that I received a card, a letter from this person? And I haven't been able to document it well in other places. And this would be just an in and out would be super helpful. And I'm not going to put pressure on myself to make it any specific way. So yeah, this, if it looks like this, it's totally fine. And then in June, I obviously dropped this. So then this is something that I still have left. I wanted to put a Techo Kaigi here, never did. However, there is a 2025 sticker here that I feel like I should be sticking somewhere, or I would like to stick somewhere. And then I think this is washi tape that I wanted to use, but I can just take that out. This here, maybe I'll just put it right here. And then the sticker is used up. It's dated, and that means that if I don't stick it in or onto a 2025 journal, it's not going to be used. And I'm just going to leave this right here and call it done. Man, I loved this actually. What I've done in my other journal is just take these sticky notes and stick them right here. And then sometimes, especially when or if I'm not sure what happened here, I'm just taking these out and giving them yet another chance. I have a question for you. I have a lot of Prismacolor pencils, and in my journal for 2026, which is, I'm still wondering whether I'm sad about that or not. My friend Claudia just recently sent me, or filled me, generously gifted me gouache paints that she put into this art toolkit palette. I sent it to her empty, and she filled it for me and sent it back. So I have these amazing gouache colors, and I haven't even swatched them yet because I'm kind of discouraged to even try them and maybe even fall in love with them when I already know that my 2026 journal won't be able to handle anything that is too watery. So watercolor or gouache is not it. Yeah, it kind of sucks, right? Last, in the other journal, like, these are things that I wanted to put in here and then I didn't. I have no recollection on why this is in here and why it isn't. But I am just, I know that I could just stick it in. It doesn't, I can't remember. That is something that is really interesting to me, because when I went through my 2024 second half of the year journal, the smaller one, where is it? I already put it away. I looked through the spreads and I was able to, what I saw on the page was a memory. Now I'm looking at this and I'm like, this could have been anywhere, anytime. And I'm not sure if it's because it's 2 weeks, it's 2 spreads per week, or if I am, if this journal format wasn't doing it for me. That is really interesting to observe. Here I've been journaling more. Yeah, maybe it's the format. That is super weird or interesting to observe that I'm not remembering many of these things. Just gonna cut this right here. I hope it makes sense. I went to bed so late last night. My husband and I started watching The Pit, and we didn't know how many episodes the season has. There's only 1 season so far, I think, and the second one is coming out in January. I did a little research last night. And I'm going to close my door. And usually I'm going to bed around 9ish. Then I'm like either falling asleep to YouTube videos or I read. I started reading a graphic novel recently, or 3 days ago. I'm almost done. Graphic novels read really quickly, actually. I need a sip of water. And last night I went to bed at I know exactly when I went to bed. I went to bed at 12 p.m. a.m., like midnight. And this is just a notebook that is not fountain pen friendly. And my friend Shauna inspired me to use it as a glue book. Instead of putting a sheet of paper underneath, it's just a notebook that is around my desk that I open up to a random page, and then when I need to glue stuff down, I can do this here, and I'm also not gluing stuff onto the paper that I'm using. And yes, so I went to bed at midnight, and then I still read some pages because I feel weird going to bed and just like, I'm not the type of person to go to bed and fall asleep. I definitely need some quiet time. Not a lot, but more than going to bed with the lights out and immediately starting sleeping. So I maybe read another 15 minutes or so. So it was past midnight when I fell asleep. I actually slept through the whole night, which is rare as an old person. For me, that is definitely this is cute. 2021. I found it and I stuck it in my journal. I've been trying to do that more and more, to put things into my journal as soon as I get it. That is something that I love. And I didn't journal most of February because I had I did 28 inks, 28 pens, 28 note postcards. Great idea. Really hard for me to do a 1 month challenge. I have something to say about challenges, but I wanted to say that, first of all, I went to bed super late, slept through the night, woke up when my alarm rang and was like, why can't I? Oh yeah, my husband has to go to work. So I got up at my normal time, so tired, and now I'm sitting here like trying to motivate myself to go on a hike because I know it's good for me. I want to do it. So I'm dragging myself out there, even though, do you know what I want to do? I want to put this on my journal on the outside. And my new journal, I'm not sure why. There we go. Why I'm also gatekeeping a little. Yeah. Gatekeeping my stickers. Like, I could just bust out my journals for 2026 and start decorating them, but I'm not, and I'm not really sure why, because I've been collecting stuff to put on. Maybe it's like, what if I find an even perfecter sticker? Is this the right way? Yeah, I think so. Yes. To put on the cover before the year starts, and then like all is wrong because it's not the right one. I am just going to stick this in here. If I can find the start. So, challenges. I love a good challenge. Maybe you know that. Maybe you don't. And I love challenging myself. I get very inspired, but also I am very unlikely to finish challenges. I love the idea, but I just can't really commit to a 1 month challenge. That's just too long. And I've recently started one that, oh my God, look at this. I love how this looks. I wish I had been able to finish this journal entry. So I had kind of struggled going into this during the month of February because of that monthly challenge, which made me not be able to do all the things I wanted to do. It was just too much. This is basically, my alarm bells should have rang right there, because it was very easily noticeable that I was not able to fill 2 A5 spreads each week. And I was kind of sad and also very hopeful to be able to get back into this journal after that challenge was done. So a monthly challenge is too much for me, especially when I'm already doing things on a regular basis, like fill in a weekly creative journal spread, and that is important to me. But what I have found is in October, I randomly learned, and I haven't even verified, I think I said this is like the 5th time that I'm mentioning this, that it's International Postcard Day. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to send a postcard a day for a week. And I found, well, a weekly challenge seems to be something that I can keep up with, especially when I'm not too strict about, like, what is a week? Is it 8 days or is it 7 days? And so what I've done was decide that I would send 7 postcards in the first 7 days of each month. And if I have 8 cards, that's fine. If I send them 2 days too late, all of this is fine. But it is something that is manageable for me. So weekly challenges it is from here on out. And I don't think I want to pile up more than 1 challenge every month. Right now, it's 1 postcard every first 7 days of each month. Maybe that's going to change. I'm not going to be super, uppity about it if I am pivoting over here and something else is super exciting. But I realized that I'm not going to be able to keep up these elaborate ish spreads like this. This one I actually really love. These types of things. As you can see, even on January 9th, there is gaps because I was not able to keep up this type of creative work. So I said, why don't I regard each day as, let me record one snippet. Actually, the first idea I had was to go in and like log what I'm doing every day. So I did these two things, and then I talked about a struggle that I had. And then, so this is where I started doing this and just logged one thing for every day. And that worked actually quite well. Sometimes I'm breaking out of those bounds and sometimes I'm sticking to it. This is what I really loved. Like I was able to be successful looking at this type of journaling. So I'm just I think I'm just going to write this right here and call it done. And I even have, ooh, look at this. Let's just write. Like that. Because I'm so tired, I am not 100% sure if I finished all my thoughts. If there's anything you want me to elaborate on, leave a comment down below and tell me that I completely starved off one thought. My growth rate is quite slow. That is because I stopped filming 3 videos a week, which is like crazy. One of my coworkers actually asked me how many videos I published, and I was like 3. 2 kind of like themed ones where I put in more effort, and 1 snippets from my desk video. And when I said it out loud, I'm like, yeah, no wonder you're not getting these pages done. And also because I'm just not everybody's cup of tea. And so I'm not some other channels that I admire that put in a lot more work than I do have been growing at a much faster rate. And when I think rationally about it, I'm totally fine with it. But sometimes you cannot you just cannot how do I say this? You just cannot be happy for other people, kind of. You know, I'm struggling with letting other people being gracious. Is that the word? Yeah, I totally admit it. In my rational mind, I understand that you just get out what you put in. And I've decided a while ago now that I am not letting YouTube dominate my life, because I don't want to make this a business. This is still supposed to be fun for me. And if you're having fun while I'm having fun, that's even better. But it's not ever going to be something that, oh, I cannot go on this hike because I have to film this YouTube video, because my social media schedule requires me to do this and this and this. I have to prepare this many Instagram posts and blah. I have to promote these affiliate people, which, Atlas is changing their affiliate program I think at the turn of the year. And I have two things that I'm wondering. I've not shopped at Atlas for a while. I'm looking often. Most of the time, the shop that I shop at is Vanessa. And I've been shopping at Atlas, but it's not my first stop. And I'm also trying not to buy too many things. Like, there's stuff coming out all the time, as you can see, while I'm flipping through my journals. I'm pulling out crap that I want to put into my journal again. So do I really need even more? I get Cat Collage Club every month. I get my Extravagant Hope mailer from Brandy Kincaid every month. That's a lot of ephemera already. And so I have a lot of ink. I can do ink swaps with friends. What I'm saying is, I also don't want to buy stuff to have new stuff all the time to promote a company that I genuinely like. But I don't want to make this my, this is not going to be my career. And so am I, first of all, going to apply to the new affiliate program? Like, am I going to try and get in? Or am I just going to say, this is not for me at all? And then also, will they even take me? Yeah, those are things that I'm thinking about. It's like, it would be cool, obviously, but also not a lot of other people get, like, I'm showing what I'm buying stuff, and this is how I often finance those purchases at Vanessa, to be honest. To be honest is a word that I love using, this phrase, right? Yeah, I noticed that earlier too. So if I don't have it, will I miss something? I'm not going to be able to buy stuff at such a quick rate, but is that even do I even want this? Because you've been watching me complain a lot about the stuff that I have. So would it even be an issue if I were to have to slow down because my inflow of budget isn't as quick as it used to be? This is, it's unfortunately, it's not as readable as I would like it to be. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. The art I made behind and then I stamped on top of it. Green would be cool here. Just take this out here, but yeah, as you can see, trying to get one entry in a day. I don't think I need this. That is also just not it. I'll need to stick this in here and just call it done. I am trying to knit a hat for my son, and I'm just not getting it. Maybe I need to take time in the afternoon to start it. Maybe I need to just use a regular simple cast on instead of a German twisted cast on or no old Norwegian cast on. But yeah, I'm annoyed with myself. Look at this. Oh my God. Who would have guessed that cleaning stuff can make you feel good too? Well, well. I guess May was an uptick in my journaling. Like so much. I love this. I just went, that's one of the places that I could hike to. think this is all that is in here. There wasn't that much stuff that I still needed to stick down, so I'm just going to glue this all the way in. And I think this is such a great way. My friend sent me a note, but the paper wasn't fountain pen friendly, and so she put a sticky note that is fountain pen friendly, which is, oh my god, this stuff right here, the Life sticky notes, they're so so good with fountain pens. I love them, and they stick so well. I'm just going to distribute these washi strips here. Yeah. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about? Not really. So I'm excited to call this journal done. I'm so happy that you joined me for this journaling finish section. I said it in my other video where I finished the other journal that I hope you are inspired to let go of some baggage in your brain. If you're anything like me, when you're not necessarily beating yourself up, but it's always like coming back to the front, telling you that you're still not done with this journal. You still need to finish that journal. There's still so much to catch up on. And you're able to go through and let it go and call it done. So this is, oh yeah, I'm gonna stick this, not here, but here. Oh, look, it's a bird. Even though I need a wolf, I'm just going to stick this bird right here. Yeah, encouraging you to let go of your expectations. Oh my God, let's put this right on top of the O. And be okay with whatever progress you made. So when I removed, as you can see, this is not the full year. When I removed the signatures, I was expecting to journal all the way through to the 30th of June, which is right in the middle of the signature. And so I divided the book and cut it out, not right here, because that would have meant that all of these pages would have been loose. I went in and cut it out right when this signature was over. And then I just glued that page, the first page of the signature, or the last page in this case, to the flyleaf. No, this is the flyleaf. So to the very last page of this. And so securing it right here. It's probably not professional, but it's professional enough for me to be able to archive this book. And as I said and mentioned many times before, call this done. And try again in 2026 with a different journal. I'm trying to have an open mind and see where it takes me with the limitations that I have with the paper. If it's too limiting and if I'm feeling too much regret for not being able to use any type of gouache or watercolor, then I will just go back into the traveler's notebook with the MD paper, the one that I'm using right now, and I'm actually really successful in at the moment. Like this, I didn't think, so I bought a dated journal for 2026, but I didn't think that an undated journal would bring me so much joy. And I'm keeping up. I think I skipped 1 week, and you can't notice because there is no, let me see if I can even find it. Yes, I skipped September 1st to September 7th, and then the next week that I logged here was September 15th. And it's totally, I'm super okay with that. But I started talking about the colored pencils. I do have a set of colored pencils. And I'm wondering how you store them, because I find it really uninspiring to put them in one of those cases right here. But the set is huge. So either I need to limit the pencils, the colors that I'm using, to a smaller amount, or find a different storage solution, but that is also portable. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm starting to like think about how do I want to make colors and pens, different nib widths, accessible to me so that I'm able to use them. They are accessible, but hard to reach or bulky packaging. Like, maybe you saw this in my October journal with me. I will link it up in the cards if you haven't watched that yet. This is from the kids section of IKEA, a pencil roll, and it's like the worst because the elastics don't match. Maybe that's why they were so cheap. But what I like is that I see every color when I open this up, instead of having to rummage through a case like this and finding the color that I want. This is obviously only one roll, so I don't want to carry around 2 of these rolls. So either I will have to reduce the amount of pens that I'm carrying, because I also want to use gel pens and brush pens, stuff like that. But I'm like, I need it to work for me. But as I'm talking about this, I already noticed that this sounds super complicated, and most likely, like, I will be just backing out because I can't find what I'm looking for. So it would be really good if I had something. And I'm also known to, if I have a case with these elastics and I'm using them, I am not the type of person to put the stuff back. I'm just throwing it in and then I'm zipping it shut. And then the next time I open it, it's all there. So yeah, if you have ideas on how to be able to access things, then I would love your recs. Man, I'm so excited. This is done. How do I feel about this? So happy. Maybe this is all that I'm going to include into this snippets from my desk video. It was slow. Oh, I was going to tell you which hike I'm going to do. I will add that to the end of this. Yeah, even though I'm trying not to beat myself up with things like that, it seems to linger, and kind of feel relieved that this is done. So yeah, yet again, encouraging you to do something like this and call a journal done when it doesn't serve you any longer. And if you feel like you need to get in there and do some maintenance like I did right here, then take some time, maybe an hour, and just work through this and finish your journal. So this is 2025 first half. This is 2025 second half. I'm super excited that I'm here. And I can wait to see where 2026 is taking me. I hope to see you again soon. If this is the end of the video, you will know. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again soon. Until next time, bye. We made it outside. It is, I don't know. I did not know where I wanted to go. I felt like I needed trees, so I came out here because where I live, it's not trees, it's the desert. So I drove a little. I had a really hard time actually leaving because I'm such a couch potato. But I'm so glad I'm here, and we'll see where this goes. I'm not sure how much I'm gonna... Oh my God! Did you see this? The actual fuck. What was that? Huge bird. Sorry, I'm still not knowledgeable about my birds of prey at all. But man, stunning. So this trail goes right here, and there's the lake, actually a reservoir. But yeah, I wanted to come and have some options. So cool. I'm so excited. So glad I'm here. I hope, that's one thing that I wanted to say and wanted to tell you, because it happens to me so many times. I like the idea of going outside, but then getting outside is so hard. And sometimes I manage to convince myself that I am better off staying at home. Is that bird still here? No, I don't know. Don't see it. Because that's what I want to do, because that's what my body needs. But she doesn't. She needs to go outside. And I'm so glad I made myself overcome this today. I want to do it more. Yeah. I just, so excited to be here. And look at Max. He is too. Not sure if you can see him. I'm out, and I'm so excited, and I'm so happy about it. There's Max coming. It's quiet. There's trees. There's birds. Sun is shining. I needed this. I'm so glad I'm here. I'm so excited that I did this. You know when you know that you need something, but you just don't let it happen? That's how I felt today. I was like, no, I'm not going. I don't want to. Where would I go? What would I do? I don't want to go. Ugh. And so I'm here. Old Reno Road. Interesting. 6.5 miles. Who knows where this goes? We just came from Captain Robert's boat ramp. Now we're going this way. Have to bring my hiking camera with me next time. But I still have my footage from my Bishop trip on there, and I am too scared to look at the footage, and so I just haven't touched it since then. The thing is, I'm not sure if I want to even make videos about hiking, but also I would love to share it with someone because I'm always on my own. Oh, the perils of a solo hiker. Either there was a controlled burn here, or this was part of a forest fire, because there's definitely black trees, tree trunks everywhere. It's weird. It feels scary to see this. But it seems like, and it also smells just, you know, like campfire kind of. This is so quiet here that I'm actually kind of spooked out. And Max is not helping when he's like standing there on the trail, alert, looking in a direction. I'm like, what is there? So I'm trying to sing a little, make some noise. Look at him. At least I have my hiking poles, but it's like, oh my goodness. I know that you should be making noise so that animals, well, the only animals that I'm concerned about right now are bears. And it's like, hey bear, I'm here, move along. We don't want to meet. And also, I'm kind of scared. Why is this so quiet here? But when we stopped the other 5 minutes ago, there was a woodpecker. That was fun. I wouldn't have noticed that if I hadn't stopped and listened. But it's, there's like fear that you've never, I mean, we always all experience fear, but it is just, you know, bubbling up deep inside. And I did not bring my bear spray today because I feel like that is kind of false security too, because I've never tried it. So it's just be on alert, make some noise while walking, la la la, and trust that they're not coming this way. Really, Max is not helping when he's like standing there, right there, and head high, looking into a specific direction. I'm like, what is there? Looking, but I can't see it. All right. I just wanted to let you know that it's not all roses and sunshine. Not at all. You can't see him. Here he is, sniffing away. There is like some kind of track right here. Something. And it's big. but it's not 4. So, tripod bear might be. I think this down here is the forest road that I'm taking, so I can just cut across because we want to go a loopy doopy thing. Max, come on, come. Come on. Yeah, this is the road that I'm taking. Bird sitting right up there on that tree. Let me see if I can zoom in. There. Next one. Look at them. Look at these two. Man, look at this. Hills and mountains and stuff. It's so pretty. Look at the formation of these clouds. Super pretty. Big trees too. We are back on the tiny trail we walked, if you saw it, on a forest road where off-road vehicles are allowed to drive. And what I'm noticing is that as soon as I'm on a forest road, I have this weird sense of safety that everything is okay. When I'm on the trail, it's like, oh my God, it's the forest. There's witches. There's wild animals. They will attack me. Kind of feeling. And I'm not really sure why the width of the trail makes me feel less safe. Which I know that if witches or wild animals were coming, they wouldn't care what trail I was on. Yeah, just a thought. And if you hike, think about what makes you feel safe and what makes you not feel safe. I mean, I'm on a trail where I'm sure nobody's out today. This is not an actual hiking trail. Well, this part is, but the rest of the road that I walked, that I felt safer than I'm here. There's not a lot of traffic. I haven't seen, besides someone on a bike, I haven't seen anyone. So that is, yeah, I'm off the beaten path, and maybe I should feel less safe. It doesn't matter where, but yeah, but yeah, it's also a filler word or phrase that I'm using all the time. Noticing right now as I'm talking. Okay, that's it. This is a spine, I think. Max finds it very interesting. But wow, in the middle of the trail. So you know that there is beasts out here, for sure. We found a bench, so we're taking a water break. Right, Max? Yeah? Okay. Am I the only one with wild imagination who sees a face? Yeah, I thought so. Okay, so I decided, or I wanted for a long time to go swimming, even when it's cold. And I brought Max's, what is that? Life vest, which also has my swimming stuff inside. So I decided that we are going to do it today. I was going to talk myself out of it yet again. And I wondered, why? Why am I talking myself out of these things all the time? Here it is, the reservoir. We're going down, and I have my towel. I'm wearing my bikini because why not? I hate bathing suits. I mean, I could probably skinny dip in here, but that feels weird. I've never done that before. Maybe it's time one day, soon. 'Cause don't postpone things that you really want to do. All right. Super short. I dipped in. Didn't go all the way down, but I dipped in like half of my boobs-ish, kind of. That's how I did it. Super cold, but now I'm warm. Next time I need to just throw in a pair of my old chacos that I don't wear anymore. And Max is rubbing against me. And just have them in the bag, without ever taking them out, because I hate going in the water without anything underneath. Max, help! He wants to get rid of his thingy-majig. This too wants to get rid of his life jacket. That's it from me for today. I thank you so much for watching. I had a fantabulous day today. The best. Thank you so much for being here and sharing the joy of being outside. And not just that, but also holding myself accountable for the things that I want to do instead of always finding a way out. I will see you again soon. Until next time. Bye.